Welcome to Taigatradesman. That's Tim, he's the tradesman. And that's me, the Taigatradesman in training, or also known as Brittany, his wife. We are a husband and wife team that love to travel and adventure, and together we've developed a passion for projects. We would love if you would follow along on our journey of renovating an old ambulance into our first ever tiny home. Welcome to episode 2 of Taigatradesman. We are picking up where we left off, trying to get rid of this last built-in. And I do apologize for the blurry footage. I promise it'll clear up here in just about a minute. We realized that this built-in was not screwed and bolted in like everything else. This was all via glue and nails. So we went from straight demolition mode into destruction mode.
It was screwed in a manner that I was not going to be able to get to, so brute force works. It's not too bad, wire-wise. Yeah, that's how it's done.
While I was working on removing some of the hardware from the built-in shelves, Tim discovered probably over 200 pounds of wire. So we knew this built-in and the ceiling would need to go before we could figure out which wires we were going to keep and which ones we were going to nix. However, we didn't know which one needed to come first, so we kind of flip-flopped on that decision throughout the course of this video. So in the meantime, we got rid of the door's closing mechanism, and then Tim decided to go ahead and remove all of this exposed insulation. Now that the insulation was removed, we could assess our situation a little bit better. So we knew we needed to clean out the back of the ambulance, get rid of all of that trash and bags of insulation. And then we tried to figure out if we needed to get rid of the ceiling first or if we needed to get rid of the built-in. We kind of ended up leaning more towards getting rid of the ceiling because we needed to make sure the wires were not damaged as to not have any sort of fire hazard. And so we could utilize all of the street legal wires still without having to rewire. So while I would end up working on removing all of the trash out of the back, Tim would remove the oxygen line and then devise a plan to make sure the wires stay intact while we remove the ceiling.
Me too.
So once we got done cleaning out the ambulance, for the most part, Tim went ahead and started unscrewing the big wire bundle down from the ceiling, and then we decided to remove all the lights so that way we could pull all the wires through to the one side so it would be easier to keep everything together when we pulled the ceiling down. So we quickly realized that the wires from the lights were not going to come straight through. We realized that we would actually need to remove the ceiling right above the wire bundle to be able to pull through all of the wires that are behind the ceiling. So Tim grabbed the angle grinder and decided that we need to cut away that portion of the ceiling. So the angle grinder was getting a little too close to the wires, so we contemplated maybe using it from the top down, but there just was no room. So to be able to pull the wires through, we decided that the ceiling would just need to drop down. So Tim removed this back panel and it fell on top of the aluminum box so we could get a closer look at the wires that were laying across it. We realized there were some exterior lights that needed to be removed, so Tim went and grabbed the ladder and went ahead and started on that. After that was done, we decided to give a crack at trying to remove the ceiling right above the wires again, but we realized that we would just have to figure out a different method. So, in the meantime, while we thought on it, Tim decided to take a little anger out on the built-in, going full destruction.
Jeez. It was stuck in there.
At last, now the built-in is finally removed. Now we can actually figure out how we're going to remove this ceiling. So the plan we decided on was for Tim to, of course, suit up, mask up, all the fun stuff, and get the angle grinder so that way we could cut the ceiling in half. We, of course, needed supports to hold it in place to keep it as steady as possible while Tim would be cutting it. And hopefully the supports would act as supports when the ceiling was to come down. We decided to do it in half because we knew it would be easier to remove out of the ambulance. And just like that, our ceiling is finally removed, just with a little bit of an owie on my head. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you did enjoy it, please hit the like button because it really will support our channel. And please feel free to leave a comment down below of your favorite part of this week's episode. Make sure you stay tuned for next week where we start removing these aluminum boxes. All right, we'll catch you then. Thanks for watching.